What is up, guys? GZTV here, and yeah, I know I'm in the same setup that I was in. That's kind of weird. That's so trippy that it reflects. That's off topic. I know I'm in my same gaming setup that I usually am in, but I was kind of lazy to move over to my room over there. So we're just gonna do our recap here for now. What's going on, guys? It was a pretty decent night of NBA basketball with one terrible call, ruining hopes of clinching a playoffs. Ruining hopes of clinching the playoffs for now. I mean, I feel like the Trailblazers should be able to make the playoffs, but wow, they just got screwed really bad, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But starting on the night with the Clippers and Hornets. Hornets was the team that needed the win the most, but obviously the Clippers are a lot better of a team, so they took it home pretty easily as well. It was a 23-point win. Looking at the box score, Paul George put up 20 and 10, leads the Clips to a pretty easy win. Going on the Hornets side, there really wasn't anyone that stepped up. I think that's starting to become their problem. At the beginning of the year, it'd be a Rozier night, or it'd be a LaMelo night, or it'd be a Bridges, or a PJ Washington, or a Devontae Graham night. But now, nobody's really stepping up, and that's what they really need going into the play-in. So, yeah, that was that matchup. Next was Bucks-Pacers. Giannis puts up 40 and 15 in the Bucks win. Yeah, Giannis showing once again how he's easily a top 5, top 10 player in the league, possibly top 5. Not sure about that yet. He probably is. He probably is top 5 in the league as of now, even after all the injuries and whatnot. But yeah, let's look at the box score. Giannis, of course, 40 and 15. Middleton put up 22. Lopez put up 21. Holiday put up 20 and 14. And those won't go unnoted because he has a lot of a big supporting cast on the court. We can finally really say that. I mean, I know Chris Middleton's been with him for a while, and Middleton's a great player, but we can finally say that he actually has somewhat teammates out there. Pacers, Sabonis put up 10 and 14. Holiday put up 26. TJ McConnell put up 23. That's pretty nice. But LeVert didn't play tonight. It might have ended up differently. Matter of fact, it probably would have ended up differently if it weren't for his absence. Moving on to Magic Hawks. This is another one of those games where it's kind of a given for the Hawks to win. Bogdanovich continues to play amazing for the Hawks. Easy win versus the Magic. As we look at the box score for the Magic, Wendell Carter put up 12 and 11. This team is a lost cause for this season. They definitely need to tank. They should not try to win any more games. I mean, this is a team that's been tanking for years probably, but they need to continue because obviously it's not working. I mean, they got freaking rid of 3-star players in Fournier, Gordon, and Vucevic. Vucevic being the biggest one, but yeah, if you want to look at the Hawks side, here you go. 14 and 14 for Capella, 27 for Bogdanovich. Man, Bogdanovich is playing great, and I know the Atlanta fans are very satisfied with that. Next game was Heat and Sixers, and I probably should have put this in the title, but Udonis Haslem, the longtime veteran, I think he's been in the league for 20 years, and he's been on the Heat his whole career. Shout out to him, he is a true OG. That is the definition of an OG. Another OG, though, is Dwight Howard. They had a little bit of a beef. Dwight Howard kind of shoved him on the ground, and he kind of went down the court and, stuck his finger in his eye, kind of Rajon Rondo style. I don't know why, but, yeah. It was interesting to see those two veterans get into it, because usually when you play against or with someone for a certain amount of time in the NBA, you kind of, resolve that type of thing. But I guess not. Jimmy Butler, though, leads the Heat to this win. Once again, Embiid played. Okay, that's probably the worst night of the season. He played 25 minutes. Okay, yeah. We're not even going to talk about that. He's definitely top 2 in the league. Him and Jokic are interchangeable, though. Looking at the box score for the Sixers, Tobias Harris had 21. Really about it for them. They didn't have much going for them on the Heat side. 21 for Butler, 18 and 12 for Adebayo. And that's that game. Next, Knicks and Spurs. I was really excited that the Knicks beat the Spurs, but it was pretty much useless for the Kings because they lost the Grizzlies. We'll get to that. They are eliminated as titled in the video. I was hoping that the Spurs would lose and the Kings would win, and it was looking like the Kings would win, but they didn't, obviously. But yeah, Alex Burks playing some of his best basketball as the Knicks squeeze out this win. They won by 4. Big shots by R.J. Barrett at the end of the game as well. So yeah, box score. DeMar DeRozan's a bad man, though. That man can score at will. Let's not forget that. Yeah, DeMar had 27 off 10 for 18. No three-pointers. He doesn't shoot a single three-pointer. He is literally Kobe Bryant. He's Kobe Bryant almost. Like, not to the same degree, obviously, but his play style is Kobe Bryant. Rarely shoots the three, which Kobe shoots exponentially more threes, but he's got that play style, kind of. He put up 27 off 10 for 18. That's about it. You know, he doesn't really have a supporting cast on him, if we're being honest. But at least they're on the play-in, so they can be happy about that. Looking at the Knicks, Julius Randle put up 25. R.J. Barrett put up 24. 5 for 9. Again, big shooting night for him. And Alec Burks put up 30 off of 11 from 20 from the field, including 5 for 10 from the three-pointer. In only 34 minutes, Elfrid Payton was kind of slacking, so Thibodeau was like, you know what? We're going to put Alec Burks in. And those are the Coach of the Year type decisions. He is a possible candidate, and we will get to the awards next week. Moving on, Raptors and Bulls. This was a big game for the Bulls. They pulled it off against an eliminated Raptors team. Stanley Johnson scored 35. Shout out to him, but Bulls stay alive in playoff contention. Yeah, if we want to look at the box score real quick, Stanley Johnson put up 35 and 10, and that's about it for them. They have literally nobody. They really don't play. They pretty much are resting their players for the next season in hopes that they come back better next year. But looking at the Bulls side, Vucevic put up 16 and 16. Kobe White put up 17 and 10. Levine put up 24. And Markkanen put up 20 off the bench. I haven't heard that guy's name in a while. But hey, good basketball for Markkanen. Next is the game I've been talking about for a while. It is Kings and Grizzlies. Kings are eliminated from the playoffs. They lose a needed game despite Justin James putting up 31 points. I mean, they literally have no one at this point. No Fox, no Halliburton. They gotta rely on DeLon Wright, and although DeLon Wright is an above average NBA player, you can't really rely on him every night. So yeah, it looks like Dillon Brooks and Valanciunas led the charge for them. It was a close game though. So yeah, looking at the box score for the Kings, he did this off the bench in 32 minutes too. 31 points, 4 for 5 from 3, 12 for 17. Yeah, they just didn't have Fox, or they didn't have Whiteside, they didn't have Fox, and they didn't have Halliburton. So it's tough. Looking at the Grizzlies side, Dillon Brooks put up 30 and Valanciunas put up 24. Moving on, let's talk about Nuggets and Timberwolves. Jokic puts up 31, holds off the red-hot Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are slowly starting to kind of defeat some playoff teams despite being eliminated, which I'm a fan of and I'm not a fan of, but yeah. Just go ahead and look at the box score because I'm kind of taking too long as is. For the Nuggets, JaVale McGee put up 12 and 13, pretty good minutes for him. I like it. Jokic put up 31 and 14. He's an MVP. He's the MVP, man. Looking at the Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards put up 29. Karl Anthony Towns put up 20 and 11, and that's about it for them. Moving on to the last game of the night, and the most controversial game of the night. We're talking Trailblazers and Suns. Yeah. This sucks. Suns barely outduel Lillard's 41. Terrible call at the end. So what happened was Devin Booker was, there was like 4 seconds left. He had to get a mid-range shot. His special. Booker usually does a fadeaway mid-ranger in these type of situations, and especially because they were down by 1 and they just needed a 2. So he gets open. He kind of like dribbles to one side of the court, comes back and like fades and like flails himself in the air. It was the weirdest looking shot I've ever seen. I didn't see any fouls, but apparently Norman Powell unluckily kind of tapped him on his elbow like on the way up, and it was a foul. So that was very controversial, and it caused the Trailblazers to lose and prevented them from clinching the playoffs for now. Because I believe they'll definitely be able to clinch the playoffs. I believe in it. But yeah, CP3, Bridges, Payne take care of business. Cameron Payne's been playing some great minutes off the bench. Suns have got to be happy about that. Look at the box score for the Blazers. 41 for Lillard, 27 for McCollum. Like, most of those were in the first half as well. Looking at the Suns, we see a 21 and 11 night from Mikal Bridges. He's a bucket. He's one of my favorite players on that team. Chris Paul put up 26. Cameron Payne put up 21. So, yeah, that was tonight. Let's get into tomorrow because we have some pretty decent action. Most of it's kind of throwaways, like this team needs to win, of course. But, yeah, again, Cavaliers, Wizards, that's a gimme. Give you guys some better playoff position. Here you go. Play a crappy team. Again, Nuggets and Pistons, they are on a back-to-back, but they are playing the Pistons, who are very, very undermanned. I don't think they don't have Jeremy Grant. Obviously, they got rid of Drummond. Obviously, they got rid of Griffin. They really don't have much but Frank Jackson, Sadiq Bey. That's really all they have. And Sekou Doumbouya. That's really all they have in terms of talent. But yeah, Magic Sixers. Sixers get a little break off the back-to-back off after struggling against a team they could possibly see in the playoffs, which I don't think they will, but it's possible. They play the Magic, who really all they have is Mo Bamba, Cole Anthony, and a random guy that scores 20 sometimes. I don't know. Looking at the next game, these are all throwaway games. They're really not that good of games at all. Jazz and Thunder. Again, the Thunder. They have my boy Alexei Pokashevsky. They have Moses Brown. They have Theo Maledon. They have Baisley. They have Roby. They have Lucian Stewart. I don't know if he's playing, but that's about it for them. Raptors, Mavericks. Another throwaway game without Siakam, without Van Vliet, without really anybody. All they really have is Stanley Johnson coming off a red-hot night and maybe OG Anunoby. I'm not sure. Clippers, Rockets. Kelly Olynyk, Kenyon Martin, and Armani Brooks have been going off lately for that team, but they're probably going to try to tank. Most of these teams are going to tank. Like, it's crazy because, like, at this point, these teams are tanking. They're going to try to get better draft picks. And obviously some of these teams are good with their players actually, like, not hurt. But, yeah, Kings and Grizzlies. The Kings are, like, their morale is kind of lost after just now getting eliminated from the playoffs, like, 2 games before the season is over for them. They have Buddy Hield, they have DeLon Wright, they have, what's-his-face? That James guy that just scored big, and they have Terrence Davis. That's it. Or they have Rashawn Holmes as well, and Bagley. Last of the night is Pelicans-Warriors. Why are these primetime games? It's not going to be interesting at all. Pelicans don't even have Zion, so I don't know how they're going to be able to fare. So yeah, that's that. We're going to get into the standings, though. Atop the Eastern Conference is the 76ers. A game below them is the Nets. Another game below them is Milwaukee. 5.5 games below them is the Hawks. A half game below them is the Heat, and they are tied with the Knicks. Celtics are 4 games out of the playoffs. 2 games behind them is Charlotte, and they are tied with Pacers, which is interesting because I do not want to play the Pacers. I do not want to play the Pacers whatsoever. At all. I don't. And a game behind them is the Wizards. And don't count the Bulls out. If the Wizards win tomorrow, I'm pretty sure the Bulls are done, but they are only 2 games away from the playoffs. So anyways, let's move on to the Western Conference. Atop the West is the Jazz. 1.5 games back is the Suns. Another 1.5 games back is the Clippers. A game back from them is the Nuggets. 5 games back is the Trailblazers, and they are tied with Dallas. A game away from them are the Lakers. 3 games away from them are the Warriors, and they are tied with the Grizzlies. So I guess there's some implementations like regarding tomorrow's games because those 2 teams play, and if one loses and one wins, who knows? One of them will play the Lakers, of course. San Antonio is a full 4 games back. They are definitely going to be either the 9th or 10th seed. And there's nobody after that because the West, the 10 teams for the West are set. So whatever teams I just named, you're going to see in the play-in and the playoffs. So, on that note, that has been the episode. Tune in tomorrow morning. I will be reacting to the new 2K content and react to new music. And then, like, 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll do another Outriders gameplay. And then later in the night, I will do another recap video, even though it's really not that interesting of a night. We'll just see what happens. It's going to be a content-filled day tomorrow, and I'm so excited to give you guys this content. So, yeah, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later.